Well, ICE Director John Morton touring Arizona's border with Mexico and meeting with federal and state police today. His visit not exactly satisfying some top law enforcement officers along the border, who publicly denounced this visit as a pathetic political stunt. Morton, on Fox News yesterday, denying that charge to Neil Cavuto.
I've been to Arizona. This will be my 5th time to the state. I've been to the border. I've been to Phoenix. Been to Mexico on the other side of the border. We're just engaging in good old-fashioned law enforcement. There's no vacation, no politics, no photo op. It's just my job as the director of the agency.
Ben Ferguson, Icon radio talk show host of The Ben Ferguson Show, and Rob Thompson, radio talk show host, are my guests now. All right, gentlemen, so John Morton, you don't see him that often, coming out on Neil Cavuto's show yesterday, and now we expect holding a press conference on what he's doing today in Arizona moments from now. Ben, does he have a point then that, you know, he's done a lot along the border and it's not a photo op?
Well, he's doing the same thing that we had the president's wife do, go down the Gulf Coast and say, hey, come vacation here. And then does she vacation there? Heavens no. He's going down there saying, hey, we're doing stuff at the border. Are they doing stuff at the border? No. This president promised that we were going to send over 500 National Guards troops by August 1 down the border. They didn't send them. This is a guy who got a no confidence vote by his own staff and their union just a few weeks ago. So they don't even believe him.
You know, but on the other hand, Rob, the president did say he'd send 1,200 more troops to the border, and Congress just approved another $600 million, I should say, to help secure our border.
Well, certainly. Let's talk about that for a second. First of all, photo op, isn't that what every government head does when they are in office?
But he denies
go down to
it.
where they're actually policing?
So that makes it okay?
It's not a photo op. Every government head goes down to where they're working. So, you know, whether he is going to go take pictures or not, that's what he's doing. But that is so secondary to the real point here. Yes, $600 million was just passed. It should have been more. But guess what? We can't spend any more money because we have the party of no that says no money, no how, no way.
Rob, I got it, Rob.
So
I
right
love
now,
you.
given the opportunity,
I got to stop you right
he's down there with you.
Rob, I got to stop you right there. I love you, but the reality is not one Republican in Congress or in Senate can stop anything the Obama administration wants to. You can count, I can count. You have control of the House and Senate, and I'm tired of this cop-out when it comes to national security and our borders saying, oh, well, you guys are obstructionists. That is a lie, and everybody watching right now knows it because they can count too. We cannot, as conservatives, stop anything the president wants or the liberal agenda wants on your side, and that is a fact.
Rob, you know, the sheriffs who came out yesterday came out and said this, as I mentioned, is a photo op, and they said this is an attempt to cover up the Obama administration's inaction in protecting our borders. Amen. And John Morton came out and really fought back and said that's not true, and basically said that this administration has done more than any other to secure the border. How does that explain then, Rob, the vote of no confidence that his own agents, the ICE agents, gave to him last week?
Megyn, you brought up a very important point. First of all, let's talk about that vote. That vote was more about negotiating a new contract than it was about the job that they were actually doing. And also,
it was a unanimous vote.
Yes, it was a unanimous vote. And whenever you see a unanimous vote, you kind of get the feeling that there's something a little bit askew. There's nobody that's going to be completely against everything your new boss does. This is a negotiating ploy by a group that's affiliated with the AFL-CIO. They want to raise, and I don't blame them. They deserve a little bit more money, but certainly the government won't pay them. In fact, in order to get the $600 million, how did we get that through to the president, through the Republicans? We had to attach it to a rider to pay teachers and firemen to make sure that we had the people that were down on the border. So let's talk about that. Secondly, beyond that, we talk about what's going on now.
This is real simple.
Wait, let Rob finish, then I'll get you back.
But troops don't help.
Sorry, I missed the last point, Rob.
But just because we're asking about more troops and ICE needing more things, it's got to be a comprehensive policy. And what Mr. Morton has done has really increased the policy that covers more than just the border. It covers everywhere you work and everybody that employs anyone. And that's part of the thing that ICE is upset about. Remember their mandate.
Okay.
Their mandate is not to stop law at the border. It's to stop those that are
embrace. Go ahead, embrace the administration. I don't know why you're trying to put words in the mouth of Obama. It's very obvious that this administration does not want to secure the border. It's very obvious that they're going to go after states.
Because they are sending more troops and they are sending more money.
Look at Arizona. Look at it. No, they're not sending the troops. They say they're going to send troops. They say they're going to do this. It's the same thing with Guantanamo Bay. They said they were going to close it, but they didn't. This president says something and doesn't follow it through. They have spent more time going after the governor and the state legislator in Arizona, is my point, than they have about going after illegal immigrants that are breaking our laws and are bankrupting those states on the border.
What of that, Rob? Because that is a criticism that the Obama administration has been so focused on getting this Arizona law struck down, not focused at all on challenging sanctuary cities, and now wants us to believe that they're committed to border enforcement.
Well, I think the thing that you can look at that's most important is the bottom line. How many deportations have there actually been? And under President Obama, it has almost tripled since 2006. He has spent more money and been more active on the border than any president over the last 12 years. So if you want to talk about putting your money where your mouth is, add up the total number.
That's because governors, including,
it doesn't come close
including the governor of Texas, Rob, it's the governors who have stood up and said, our budgets are in crisis. We're having to lay off workers. We're having to lay off teachers. And we can't afford to spend all this money taking care of illegal immigrants in our state. They have forced the hand of the federal government to get rid of some of these people. It's not because of the leadership of the White House. It's because of governors, including the governor of the state you're in today. He said, I can't afford it anymore.
Okay. I got to go because we're out of time. But, you know, I don't know that we've resolved whether this is a photo or an op or not. But either way, if he comes to the microphones and says anything interesting, we're going to give him his photo op. Ben, Rob, thank you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having us. Well,